Gary Johnson's ready. So.
Are we ready now?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to talk to everyone about healthcare in the United States and how it compares to other countries. So this graph right here is the total federal spending budget for the government in 2015. So they spend 27% of that on Medicare and health, so that's over $1 trillion. That's more than the military. The military is $609 billion. So they spend a lot of money on healthcare compared to other countries. They spend 17.1% of their GDP on healthcare, which is tied for the highest with the Marshall Islands, but they're a smaller and less powerful country. They spend all this money on healthcare. It doesn't yield great results. So this graph right here shows the uninsured percentage by year in the United States, before and during Obamacare, and there's been a gradual decline in the uninsured rate. It's gone from like 16 to 11%, but it's not decreasing at a fast enough rate to make a huge difference based on the amount of funding it's getting. It's not been that efficient. This graph right here is just a visual of this is 11.3 or 4%, so just so you can see how that looks out of a whole. So they're spending all this money, still this many people are uninsured. So 11.4% means that more or less like 90% of the population is insured, which doesn't seem that bad until you compare it to other powerful nations. So Germany, for example, in 2008, while the U.S. only had 85.1% of its population insured, Germany had 99.8%. Clearly a lot better, and they did that on spending a lot less money. The United States spent 17.1% of their GDP on healthcare, and Germany spent 11.3% of their GDP on healthcare. So the U.S. is overspending and not yielding great results. Yeah. So the uninsured percent by race it's mostly dominated by people of color. 21% of the entire uninsured population is Hispanic, but that number is probably higher because of the amount of undocumented people. Because they're undocumented, obviously they're not included in statistics, and everyone who's undocumented, they don't have access to health insurance. So this number is a lot higher, and so yeah, that's going to be over 25%, and blacks make up like 14% of the uninsured rate, while whites are less than 10%. So there is also some racism in this not efficient system. And that's the uninsured percentage by state. So the southern states, like Texas and Louisiana, that are closer to the border, also have a much higher uninsured rate. It's like 13 to 15%, versus states up north that have like 3 to 5 or 6 to 8% of their population uninsured. So yeah, in conclusion, the United States spend more than any other nation, but still have a large uninsured percentage and don't yield good results. Thanks.
Gary Johnson,